Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, October 30th. It is 5:44 a.m. Pacific time. I'm Jonathan van Clute for Stock Navigators, and some little fun today since Halloween is coming. Google's got a fun little game on their homepage. So if you want to waste 5 or 10 minutes or so, jump into that. It's kind of fun, kind of amusing little holiday themed silliness. So let's take a look at the markets this morning. And if you find that this analysis is in any way useful to you or interesting, or you learn something from it, do us a favor and like the video, comment, let us know what you think, what you'd like to see, any questions you may have, and of course, subscribe to be notified of any future videos, which happen every morning and every afternoon for the pre-market and post-market analyses. So speaking of pre-market, let's take a look at the S&P 500 this morning. So yesterday was a wild, wild, wild day. The last 5 minutes or so of the day was just completely crazy, and we gained back a significant chunk of the down move in the day in really just the last couple of minutes of the day. Really wild action. And now on a daily basis, let me actually go full screen on this. On a daily basis, we've got some serious oversold conditions going on here. No big surprise after the massive amount of down selling that we've seen happening. So right now, this moment, that is kind of what we're looking at, is trying to digest some of this huge amount of downward pressure that's been going on for the last couple of weeks. So I would expect some sideways movement. We did come right down into the buy zone, and I've actually merged several buy zones. We had this one here. Let me actually grab my pen here. We had this zone here, we had this zone here, and we had this zone here. And they're all just kind of so close together that it made more sense to just sort of mush them into one. So I've turned them into one big zone here, and that's what we're watching right now to make sure that that holds. Because if that does not hold, then we definitely have a larger problem for the S&P 500. Right this moment, anyway, we are looking pretty oversold. I do think it's possible that we flirt with various levels inside this zone, though. I don't necessarily think that this is going to spell an instant bounce back up to highs again, but we'll see. Anything can happen. The markets can be very unpredictable. On an intraday time frame, let's get back to my cursor. On an intraday time frame, if you're trading more intraday, day trading, that sort of thing, 60-minute time frame, we're looking for it to hold above this zone here. This is really the first line of defense here, and this is where it came down into yesterday. It poked right down into that zone and rejected off of it very fast and very hard. And then if this zone gets broken to the downside, then the next zone down below, these are those separate zones that on the daily chart I combined into one. But on the 60-minute, it makes more sense for them to still be separate. So overnight, basically sideways, right? We're just digesting that big move from yesterday, and we're in the value area of the box. So right now, there's no clear indication of really much of anything. Nobody's in control, bulls, bears. It's very neutral, very sideways. So we are looking for, if we're going to see any kind of bullish move, we're looking for a break of this descending trend line. But these are tricky trading times. Yesterday we got faked out here, got a decent move above the trend line. It broke, but it just did not hold. And in that 60-minute candle, it came back down below. And then once we broke the box to the downside, that pushed us down below the ascending trend line. And once that happened, then there was just nothing below. We didn't even pause at this level here, this prior supporting kind of level there. Didn't even pause at all. Just burst right through it, but again, rejected very fast, very hard once that happened. So that's what we're looking at for the S&P 500. Bullishness, we've got to get up above this high here, and bearishness, we would have to get down into this zone. Otherwise, anywhere in this range, which is a big range. Admittedly, the volatility is so high right now that even if it just bounces around in this range, there's a lot that can be done there. So if you're a scalper type, maybe you're trading inside the box. Maybe this is a time to scalp the value area. So if we get down to the bottom of the box, maybe you buy it. Get up to the top of the box, maybe you sell it. All depends on what you see. If you see Navigator trending up, trying to cross the zero line, then we might get a break above and get it pushed to the upside. But if Navigator continues to stay below, especially on both the daily and the 60 time frames, then the shorter time frames, the pressure is likely to be to the downside. Let's take a look at crude oil. The story in crude is just all about the channel. The channel is really dictating what's going on and has been dictating it for the better half of half of the year, really, at this point, since we're almost at the end of the year. So really, since July, we've just been stuck in this channel, stuck in this channel, stuck in this channel. And right now, that is continuing. It's looking like crude wants to make a run for the bottom end of the channel, which the last few times it was down in this range, it hasn't been actually breaking through. It's been kind of hanging out in this area. So we're breaking a little lower here, and it looks like it's maybe gunning for that lower channel. The Navigator on the daily is definitely red and pushing down, so it is not oversold by any means. There's plenty of room left to head down. So I see a test of the bottom of that channel as perfectly reasonable. On the 60-minute time frame, if you're looking more to intraday, you are also in a channel, but it's a different channel. It's an upwards channel. So this is that multiple time frame situation going on, where the intraday time frames are doing kind of the opposite of the larger time frame. Although we have broken below that channel just this morning, just in the last couple of hours. So at the moment, we are heading lower, and so that's, like I was saying, probably looking to test the bottom of that channel. So you're watching on an intraday basis. You're watching for it to take out really this low here. And if that happens, then there's plenty of momentum and room to get down into this buy zone here and to try to test that. Navigator is red. It made an attempt to get up towards the zero line, couldn't even do it at all, and then just sold off. So right now, we've got bearish pressure happening in crude, and if you think you're bullish, then you're looking for it to get over this shorter term trend line here on the 60. It's really gotta break that. So it's got a ways to go. So right now, the pressure, the momentum is definitely to the bear side, but you're watching for it to take out those lows to get confirmation that we are likely to head lower. Let's take a peek at gold. Gold has been kind of just sideways. It's been choppy for the last week, 2 weeks, really. Although choppy in a pretty volatile range. So right now we're in the value area of the box, and now we've got a new box that came out the last couple of days, and it is a lot smaller. We've got a much tighter range. So volatility in gold is constricting. We've got a much tighter box here, and a break to the downside. There's a little bit of room to test, especially the bottom of this channel. So if the market does recover a bit, if we see somewhat of a bounce, I think it's very reasonable for gold to break the downside of this daily box and want to head lower, maybe test the lower regions of this channel. And of course, if the market actually recovers for real, then a break of that channel is probably in order, and then we're looking for it to take out these lows here. We're looking for these lows, and we're looking, of course, the big one for it to take out that low. And if that happens, then there is every chance that gold could move a fair amount lower. Although it seems that every time gold gets down to that, near that 1,000 mark, 1,000, 1,200 or so, there's a lot of buyers down in that range that just bring it right back up again. So those are the levels you're watching for on a daily basis. If you're an intraday trader, if you're into day trading gold, well, we have broken below this ascending channel. It's trying to push back up into it at the moment, but like you're saying on the daily chart, if the market in general does any kind of recovery, if we see a bounce on that, then I wouldn't really expect a lot of upwards momentum in gold. But they're not perfectly inverse correlated, so anything is possible. But you're looking for to the bear side. You've got a lot of open space here. There's a lot of room to come down. So if the market does recover, gold's got plenty of room to head lower. We've got this whole big sort of vacuum here where there's really nothing because of this gigantic up move. So right now, that is where the pressure is. Navigator is very red on a 60. So unless gold can get back up to the upper end of this channel here, right now the dominant force is to the downside in gold, since we are challenging this low here. So really, as a bear, that's what you're looking for. A bear on gold, you're looking for a challenge, a break of those lows there. If you get that, then you've got this big vacuum here, which it could easily be punched through to a significant degree. And last but not least, let's look at the alternative asset that is Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. Really nothing new to report on Bitcoin. We're still just stuck in this really narrowing sideways channel, sideways action, a little bit of a wedge going on a daily basis. So really looking for, zoom in a bit, looking for a break of that wedge. If we can break this box, we've had just really a tough time getting above this area. So we've got a sell zone overhead that Bitcoin would need to get over. And am I on the wrong time? I think I'm on the wrong session here. Let me actually go. Let's see, can I change this? It looks like the regular session in TradeStation is not including weekends because there's all these little gaps. But anyway, still you get the idea. It's been just stuck in this wedge here. So we've got a sell zone overhead here, and then we've got another one here. So there's those two big levels to the upside to get over. To the downside, that's where things get a lot scary for Bitcoin holders is if this low here gets taken out, then there's just kind of dead space down below. There's a lot of room to head lower. So watch out below if we do take out those lows. So we're watching right now very closely this upwards rising trend line. That is what we want to see hold if we're bullish on Bitcoin, on cryptocurrency in general, because the whole cryptocurrency market pretty much follows Bitcoin fairly closely. So if you're a bull on Bitcoin, you really want to see some upwards movement, break the box to the upside and hold it. You're looking for a break of this descending trend line and obviously to punch through this sell zone. That's going to be the real challenge, is the sell zone overhead here at around 7,000 or so. But I mean, keep in mind, even if it just trades inside this zone somewhere, I mean, we're talking about like a $350, $400 zone. So there's a lot of space there. If you are a day trader of crypto, you've got plenty of room. Even your average daily moves are enough to get a good amount of action out of. So that's what we're looking for to be a bull on crypto, is we're looking for a challenge and ultimately a break of these sell zones here. So keep your eye out for that. See if we get that. On an intraday time frame. So if you are a scalper, if you are looking to just day trade crypto, then really this is what you're looking at. You've broken this channel. Okay, Bitcoin has been stuck in this like $150 range or so for a while now, and broke it to the downside. So now it's going sideways. It's digesting that break a bit here, but no clear direction is emerging. Navigator is trending upwards, so that's a potentially positive sign for the bulls, but it's got a ways to go. It's really got to get above the zero line to truly turn bullish and have any hopes of a real recovery. Navigator has been descending for a long time, so to see this final break to the downside is not all that surprising, given that Navigator's strength has been weakening and weakening for a while now. So to the downside, we need to see these lows hold. All right, the first test is this one, and then the second test is here. And if those don't hold, then it's very likely to head lower. But if we get buyers that come in, if we can push it back up into this range, then maybe we just resume the sideways trend until there is something significant enough to push Bitcoin out of this sell zone and then get it up to the next sell zone, which is up above around 6750 or so. So as a day trader, Bitcoin moves. It moves a lot. So you've got a lot of potential movement going on, a lot of potential action, but you've got to be willing to turn on a dime because at any moment Bitcoin can turn around. Right now, the 21 EMA is acting as resistance. So maybe if you believe that we're in a downtrend and you're going to be a bear on crypto right now, then you want to be maybe selling the 21 EMA. Sell the rally, something like that. So that's a possibility for you. But keep an eye on this navigator because it is trending up and it is trying to gain some strength. So watch out for that if you are a bear. Well, that is basically it for the morning analysis. I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope this is useful to you in your trading. And if you like this video, please remember to like it on YouTube and comment. Let us know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see. If you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like me to cover, like me to go into, I would love to hear from you. So be sure to comment below and also be sure to subscribe so that you will be notified each morning before I go live and each afternoon as well for my post-market analysis. So pre-market analysis at 5:45 a.m. Pacific, 8:45 a.m. Eastern, and post-market at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. So look forward to seeing you this afternoon. Good trading, everybody. Have a great day.